You look at this and go, where do I start? Well, this is made for anyone. You can get any clean bass sound out of this amp. Okay, so this amp was actually prompted by an artist that said, do you fancy designing me an amp? And he was using a 32-inch rack of gear and 4 4x12s loaded with EVs. I'm going to let you try and guess who that is for the time being. And the deal was I had to try and get something that could replace a 32-inch rack of gear with a 2U rack of amp, you know. So I knew that it would have to have a serious EQ on it, you know. So, you know, this would need to have a lot of travel on it, you know. So you've got bass, low mid, high mid and treble. And then you've got frequencies for each one. And these frequencies will overlap as well. So you can really dial in exactly what you want. And I got it so he couldn't tell the difference between this and the 32-inch rack, and then we knew we were good to go. So it's actually not complicated at all. You look at this and go, where do I start? Well, so if these are facing at 12 o'clock, this EQ is out completely. That is flat, yeah. It's not even seeing this EQ if these top knobs are at 12 o'clock. So this is cut, this is boost. 9 dB cut and boost. 12 o'clock out. So you plug your bass in and you dial in your sound, literally, you know. You might want to add some bottom. You pick the frequency that sits best on the speakers that you're using. You might want to take a bit of low mid out, or you might want to add some low mid. Depends if you're trying to sound like a bass guitarist or a trombone player, you know. For these people wearing their bass too high with too many strings that are trying to sound like a trombone, you probably want to push that up and then dial this until you sound the most like a trombone. You know, this is made for anyone. You can get any clean bass sound out of this amp. You know, there isn't a bass sound you can't get. Treble, again, you probably want to add some of that, especially if you're doing slap. You know, some people like to do slap and stuff, you know. This will take you there and select the frequency that brings out your slap or chime or whatever you want to do the most, you know. It's really up to you. It's very simple, actually, you know. You've got an optical compressor. That's going to catch some transients on the way through. You push that will give you perceived extra volume and, you know, without smashing things too much, you know. That will swell the sound up and give you perceived extra volume without it getting too dirty. It will still stay really clean, even if you're pushing it, you know, and that's your output control, volume level there. The compressor is also foot switchable, so you can defeat it with a foot switch. So you can use it as a boost. So you want to come in louder for a chorus, you can use it. You can use the compressor for that, so you can, like, right, the chorus is kicking. The chorus is about to kick in. I want the whole thing to jump a bit. You can do that. So any latching foot switch plugged into this jack will do that. As you're pushing the compressor, the blue light will come on. So the more you push, the more compression you got dialed in, the more this is going to light up. And it will light up blue. And then you've got the pad for your active basses. This knocks it down on the way in here so that you're not hitting anything too hard if you've got a bass with a really seriously high output. And available with 300 watts and 500 watts.